Hey, this is Clouch from Mythic Track. Today we're going to be demoing the new custom stats feature. So Mythic Track out of the box tracks things like turn order, commanders, the amount of mulligans that were taken, the win condition, game time, etc., etc. But every time we get a user who wants to track something a little bit more specific, instead of adding that to the core of Mythic Track, we decided to develop this custom stats feature. So how this is going to work is basically going to let you track anything you want. As you can see, I've got some examples already created here, but let's create a new example. So we'll give the stat a name, like life gain. And then you have to give it a description as well, because this helps with the fields that get generated. So how much life did they gain? Question mark. And then you've got these two fields here, stat target and value type. So this basically means, hey, do I want to track this stat on a per game basis or a per player basis? So we want to track this per player. We want to track how much how much life each player gained during that game. So the value type for a player stat can either be true or false or a number. So we're going to have be a number because it's how much life. So if we go ahead and create that stat, so you can see it's in our list of custom stats here. And then we'll go and start a new game. We'll speed through this as fast as we can here. And now we get to the end of the game here. So this is where your custom stats will render. So let's say we'll pick a winner. The Frog Wizard won. Let's say they won with Mill. That seems pretty froggy. Now you'll see all of my custom stat fields are rendering here. So this is stuff not baked into Mythic Track. This is all configured on the customized panel. So it will say, was the game fun? Yes. Who got knocked out first? Let's say I did. This is a stat called, how many redos did you take in a game? Let's just say everybody played real fair. No one did any redos. Let's say everybody cast their commander. And now here's our last custom stat that we just configured in this demo. Let's say I gained 30 life. I think I was playing Atraxa. We'll say the Frog Wizard guy played 0, 0, and let's just say this person gained 5 life that game. So go ahead and save that game. Wait for it to load. And now we've got our game here. So you're going to have a couple things you can check out now as regarding the custom stats. So if we go ahead and click into this game, you will see all of our custom stats get displayed here. So, was the game fun? Yes. Who was the first out? How many redos did people take? Did each player cast their commander? And the life gain right there. So all of your custom stats will be viewable on a per game basis like this. But what's really neat is that we are dynamically generating charts for each of these custom stats as well. So if you go ahead and hit your game stats and wait for this to load, you will see that each of these custom stats are getting a widget here. And you could see the totals. So out of the 6 games where the fun was tracked, 4 games were fun and 2 games weren't. And then you could see the percentages there as well. So you'll notice these widgets are a little bit different from some of these older widgets, is because we're introducing this feature after tons of people have already tracked games. So even though this player has 71 games, they've only tracked the fun stat for 6 of those games. So these percentages are in relation to this number here, not this number. So that's important to note. But however, the stats do still react to your filtering. So if I put a min date as today for our filters here, you can see 1 game was played, and you can see these stats have also reacted to that filter. So that's how these are going to work. And then you can see on your player stats as well, we've also got new charts getting generated for each of the custom stats. And you can see our new life game stat here. You'll be able to track this data on a per player basis. So You'll be able to see who's gaining the most life over time and the percentages of life gained. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this first part of the demo, the basic setup of how these things work. The next part of the demo is kind of be covering some frequently asked questions and edge cases. So, will you be able to enter custom stats on your pre-existing games? Yes, of course. So if I come over to one of these games that was tracked a long time ago and edit, I will see fields for all of my custom stats here. So obviously, some of this stuff you're never going to be able to recall, but I know some of you guys are tracking this kind of stuff. You guys have spreadsheets and all other kinds of pieces of information where you're keeping track of these custom things. So if you do have that data, you will be able to go and enter it on old games. So that's really nice. Now, the last thing to cover here is that this feature will be only available to our Patreon supporters. So how that's going to work is that if you support Mythic Track on Patreon, you'll be able to track custom stats. However, we also understand that, some people play in play groups and that kind of stuff. So if you are in a play group with someone who is a supporter, but you are not, you will still be able to see the custom stats on each game. We're not going to hide that information. So your whole play group will be able to see your custom stats. They just won't be able to track them themselves without being a supporter. So that's how that's going to work right now. They also will not get the custom generated charts, but they will have the data available to them. They will be able to click a game and go see that, how much life did they gain in this one game, for example. So that is how that is going to work. So with that, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who does decide to support Mythic Track. It really goes a long way. So yeah, with that, I will leave you to it. If you have any questions about this feature or anything else on our platform, please feel free to reach out on Discord. I try to be very responsive on there. So yeah, look forward to hearing what you guys think of this new feature. Thank you.